My name is Daniel Harper. I am 38 years old. I was born and raised in the Midwestern United States, in a small suburban town where people knew each other and family always came first. I am a father of 2 children, and for most of my life I believed in loyalty, friendship, and marriage above everything else. I worked hard to build a stable home and thought I had found the woman I would grow old with. I trusted deeply, sometimes too deeply. What happened later changed my life completely, but it also showed me who I really am. I am not just a man who was betrayed. I am a father who stood up for his children and rebuilt his life from the ground up. Daniel and Mark met in college, 2 broke freshmen bonded by late-night study sessions and shared dreams. Over the years, their friendship hardened into something unshakable. They were each other's best men at weddings. They used to joke about having someday, confidants through failures, promotions, and losses. Mark was always around, family dinners, holidays, birthdays. Daniel trusted him without question. To Daniel, Mark wasn't just a friend, he was family. Daniel met Anna at a mutual friends gathering. She was warm, thoughtful, and laughed easily at his awkward jokes. Their relationship grew slowly but deeply. Long conversations, shared values, plans for a future built on honesty. They married after 3 years together. Mark stood beside Daniel at the altar, smiling proudly. Soon after, their first child was born, followed 3 years later by a second. Daniel threw himself into fatherhood, believing he had built the life he always wanted, a loyal wife, 2 healthy children, and a close-knit family supported by lifelong friendship. Over time, Daniel sensed distance. Anna became guarded, distracted. Mark visited more often, always with explanations that sounded reasonable. The truth surfaced on an ordinary afternoon, messages left open on a shared tablet. Conversations that crossed lines. Confessions written but never meant to be seen. Daniel felt the world narrow around him. The betrayal cut twice as deep. His wife, the person he trusted most, and his best friend, the man he would have sworn could never hurt him. Confrontation followed. There were tears, excuses, apologies that felt empty. Daniel's emotions collided: rage, grief, disbelief, shame. He mourned not just the marriage, but the life he thought was real. Sleep became impossible. Trust felt like a language he no longer understood. What hurt most wasn't just the affair. It was realizing how long the deception had lived in his own home, around his children. Daniel filed for divorce. The process was brutal and slow. Lawyers dissected years of shared life into numbers, assets, and schedules. The house was sold. Accounts were split. Custody became the hardest battle. Daniel documented everything: his involvement, his stability, his commitment to the children's well-being. The court examined evidence, testimonies, and patterns of behavior. In the end, the ruling was clear. The court granted Daniel full custody of both children, citing consistency, responsibility, and the children's best interests. The courtroom victory didn't erase the pain, but it gave Daniel something priceless: a future with his children. Time passed. Healing followed, uneven but real. One day, unexpectedly, Daniel met someone new, kind, patient, and honest. Love returned quietly, without drama or betrayal. Daniel didn't just survive the collapse of his old life. He rebuilt. Stronger, wiser, and finally surrounded by truth. Thank you for listening to my story. It truly means a lot to me. I wish everyone all the best, and thank you once again for your support.